Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel, on our website, or our social media. Reach out to me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing the Sinn EZM 12, a mission timer for helicopter doctors. This is a watch that's designed to assist in the heat of the moment when gauging the pulse of a patient and much, much more. The watch features a hard black-coated tegmented bezel with a full tegmented stainless steel case. At 44 millimeters, it's a large timepiece, but it's functionally large with multiple scales, references for time, count-up and count-down bezels. The watch is surprisingly thin, only 13.5 millimeters in profile. It's 54 millimeters from lug-to-lug across its cushion case, and it has a bit of an in-between strap size of 22.5 millimeters with a factory strap that includes a remarkable clasp, and it's also designed to be easily removable, so you can quickly remove it if you want to fit an alternative strap, a bracelet, or simply resize. Let's throw the watch on my wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference and comfortable. The watch is big, broad, bold, but again, very technical, focused on its mission, and easy to read. It's not a thick watch, and you can see that in particular in profile where it'll duck under the cuff. Hey, if you want to wear this with a dress cuff, it'll probably fit. It's just probably a bad match for dress attire. Then again, it is the man who makes the watch and not the other way around. Across the wrist, it's broad, but it doesn't feel overwhelming the way most 54 millimeter lug-to-lug watches would. And I can say, if you're cool with the look of a giant watch, it's probably going to sit fine on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. There's your cuff shot, your head-on shot, and your down-the-barrel shot. The watch is substantial. As I mentioned, it's fairly easy to dismount the strap on both sides, so I'm going to quickly do so and show you the hardware and the software. The strap is buttery soft. It's almost unnervingly so, and I suspect that this strap is probably constructed of silicone because it is so unbelievably soft, bordering on gummy, but very thick and resilient. You'll also appreciate the fact that it has many different scoring lines with built-in retention bars that allow you to quickly and easily size not one, but both sides of this uncut strap. The clasp, like the watch itself, is made of tegmented steel, and it is a twin-trigger deployant that, although not built for a dive watch, does include a fold-out dive extension. This might be useful for a doctor who's wearing cold weather attire or flight gear and wants to wear the watch over that attire. That makes perfect sense. And then again, it might just be cool to show off to friends or to wear the watch over a thick winter sweater or coat while ground-bound. Now let's jump to the EZM 12. Standard Sinn watches get a 2-year warranty. Mission timers, Einsatzzeitmesser or EZM, they get an extra year warranty. They are professional equipment. Now, starting with the bezel, you can see this is a hard black coated bidirectional bezel. Hard black is a coating 1800 Vickers and up, so it is extremely hard the way ceramic is hard, and underneath that is tegmented steel. The reason most black coatings chip and fracture is because the steel underneath is too soft, so when they take blows, the coating can take it, but the steel underneath cannot, which results in an eggshell-like phenomenon where the underlying metal gives way and then the coating cracks. Sinn only uses hard black on tegmented steel. The steel itself on its surface is 1200 Vickers, and that goes for the case as well. You can see it's all media blasted with a lovely subdued satin finish, and that matte finish created by the media blasting is on a surface that is itself 1200 Vickers. Very hard, almost entirely impervious to scratches, and you can see my own EZM 1.1, having been on my wrist non-stop since 2018, has nary a mark. It is as good, practically speaking, as ceramic without the fracture risk. Now you have a number of interesting features here. There is a little bit of contouring to the case. You can see the lugs are not completely integrated. It's more subtle than you might think. The bezel is bidirectional, and if you take note, the bezel features a countdown or mission timer style scale, whereas the internal rotating bezel, I'm going to line that up with the minute hand, that has a count up scale. You'll also appreciate the fact that the crown, which is a screw down unit, the watch is 200 meters water resistant. It's used for setting the time. I'm going to screw it out so you can see some of the distinctive features of the dial. Let me make sure I get that crown out all the way. But the dial includes both a day and a date, and day and date each have a quick set function. Let's get super close to the dial and we'll shout out some of its features. The calendar for the Day is actually bilingual in both German and English. And of course, there's a quick set for both, as well as hacking seconds. I'm going to deactivate that stop seconds and shout out the pulse rotor. You can see that there are 4 blades. Yes, they reference the Hilo doc profession, but they also operate as a pulsation scale, which allows you to gauge the pulse of a patient in short order. Now, the watch also includes a internal rotating bezel, and you can see coaxial with that bezel is a copper sulfate insert. So the watch is filled with nitrogen at the factory to evacuate all moisture and debris, as well as any impurities that might cause oxidation or tarnish internally or aging of the lubricants. But if any additional moisture manages to enter after that initial injection of nitrogen, the copper sulfate capsule will pull it out of the case, and then the copper sulfate capsule can be replaced at service. The watch includes many proprietary Sinn technologies. One of them is the tegament and the hard black coatings that we talked about before. Another is that copper sulfate dehumidification system that we discussed. Yet another is the extreme resilience of the lubricants used in this watch. It will function down to negative 45 degrees Celsius and up to 80 degrees, positive 80 degrees Celsius. Finally, it features 80,000 ampere per meter anti-magnetism, 1,000 Gauss or mil Gauss, so it is also an anti-magnetic watch. If you love this watch, and I can't see why you wouldn't, because I do, email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And we're back with the EZM 12 by night. You can see the external as well as internal bezels. I'll give you a few more tech specs. It uses an ETA 28362 movement in top spec, beats weight at 28,800 vibrations per hour, stop seconds, double quick set, 38-hour power reserve, bidirectional winding, 25 joules. And now you know the story of the EZM 12.